Soccer is back. We finally get game action with a trophy on the line, money on the line, pride, redemption, all on the line. Make it rain with that money, J-Mac. We finally get soccer back. Washington Spirit against Orlando Pride, 8 p.m. Friday night on Amazon Prime. It is the NWSL Challenge Cup. And in the 5 years the Challenge Cup has existed, we have seen 5 different iterations. Now, technically, this is the same setup as last year's Challenge Cup. It's the same format, but because the Shield winner and the championship winner were both Orlando Pride, we get to see a rematch of the final. Do you like this setup, guys? I mean, of all the Challenge Cup setups, which one is the best?
Definitely not the first one. That was terrible.
It was so bad.
That was awful. That was peak COVID. Props to NWSL with the first league that came back to do it, but it was miserable. Not great for players' mental health being locked in a hotel and then you just are shipped out to go play games on a shitty turf field. Not great. Congrats to Houston for winning that year. Y'all needed it. Good job. I like this. I like that we're kicking off the season with the rematch of the NWSL final of the previous year. I think it's a great way to bring fans in, kick off the year. The losing team is going to have a chip on their shoulder. What a way to come out and just start things off and show what teams were working on in the off season. You get money, you get a trophy, you get some street cred for winning this game, and I like it. I kind of wish we would change the name from Challenge Cup since it's changed so much. Like, is it Challenge Cup? What about like just Champions Cup? What about like I don't know. We can workshop it. I can ask ChatGPT about it, but I think there should be another name for it now since it's going to consistently stay this. I like it. So yeah, I'm here for it, and I can't wait to watch the game.
I like Champions Cup, especially if we're going with Shield winner and title winner, the championship winner, excuse me. But this time it's a rematch of the final. And now these teams, Jess, they just played each other in November. It was a short off season, but still things are different. So how do you expect the game to be different considering it was a final and now just a few months later, it's the first game of the season?
Yeah, this is where I want to play Bob Marley's song "Redemption" here because obviously Washington Spirit's gonna feel some type of way going into this game, and there's nothing like the first game. Obviously, it's not the regular season, but the first NWSL game this year being the championship game, and with Orlando Pride with the biggest target on their backs probably throughout this season. I think this is going to be probably the best Challenge Cup final that we will see in NWSL history so far, simply because you have the top 2 teams who are going to be playing against one another. You have some of the most talented players on both of these teams, and I can't wait to see what they've been putting together throughout this entire preseason. It's all about the nitty-gritty. The first game is never the easiest of the year, and so we're going to see how they're going to be able to tweak things and being able to mesh well with one another as a team. And I'm super stoked for this game. It's going to be nuts. It's definitely going to be nuts. I think there's going to be a lot of physicality. And don't get in Trinity Rodman's face because she don't take that either. So I think it's going to be nuts, honestly.
Potentially a rivalry budding between these two clubs?
Absolutely. Yes.
Let's go. Now, It is still early days. Do you show all your cards? Like, if you're coaching this match, Darian, are you throwing everything out there? Because it is your first real test. There's a trophy on the line. There's money, but also it is a long season ahead of you.
Yeah, of course you are. It's the first game of the year. Why would you? I don't know if there's like reasoning to hold back. I would think you want to put out the best of the best. Let's see what you've been working on. This is like a preseason game with really high stakes. You get to go and implement every single thing that you have been working on, whether it's bringing in new players. What a welcome to the NWSL. To throw you into the deep end. Here's how we're going to learn a lot. Then kicking off the start of the actual season with a more defined style of play, more comfortability with the team, more chemistry built because you already played in one of the toughest games of your 2024 season at the beginning of this year. So Yeah, absolutely. You want to let players gain some confidence as well from this game. You come out, you ball out, whether, of course, you want to win this game. That's some street cred. You get some money in your pockets. And who doesn't want to go into the season off of a big win? But you get to go and build your confidence, whether it's going 1v1, winning your 1v1 defensive battles, taking shots. I mean, there's just a lot to build from this game that it wouldn't make sense to me to not play your best players or who you put as your starters to jump off the season.
It's a chance to test everything that you've been working on as well before the season starts and before things get going, but you can also change it if you have to, right? 45 minutes in, you can adjust and rotate players or change a style back to something you did last year, maybe, because both of these rosters are very, very similar to the last time they played in November in the NWSL Championship. But now they get to go against each other with money on the line. And I think when you look at the tactics of the final, and now knowing that not a lot of the personnel has changed, do you expect just the tactics to be similar for both Seb Hines and Jonathan Giraldes for how they approach the championship? Or is it a new season, entirely new year, new cup on the line? It's different.
Yeah, I think some things might be tweaked. I mean, with Andy Sullivan out due to ACL and pregnancy, who knows what kind of midfield setup he's going to have there. That's a tough call. But hey, Darian might be right. One of these teams might throw in a 3-back, and we'll see if that happens. So everything's just kind of up in the air just because it's the first game, and you want to see something new, and maybe these coaches work on different formations.
Darian, if that happens and one of these teams throws out a 3-back, I'll give you something. I don't know. Like I'll buy you a coffee or yeah, I will.
I'll take a dirty gin martini. How about that?
Okay.
I can do that for you.
So she'll sip on it during the game. So go ahead, get on that at least.
Yeah, it's going to be lit post-Challenge Cup, NWSL After Dark. Let's go. Everybody get your drinks.
Absolutely lit. Yeah, I will. I mean, I don't think they are. I don't think we're going to see it. Not for these two teams. I'm hoping we see a 3-back in the season, though.
I think maybe one of them will come out in a 3-back.
I would enjoy that. So little spoiler alert for y'all listening, and Darian and Jess. I got to speak with Hal Hershfelt earlier today, previewing this. That there's an interview. It's going to drop tomorrow, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, producer Mark. But I got to talk to her about recapping it in the docu-series with Prime, and also preparing for this final while you're still kind of doing media for the game last year. And she was so jazzed, guys. She was like, I am so amped for this game. And now we know Hal Hershfelt has high intensity and high energy all the time, but I just got a sense from Hershfelt that this game means a little bit more to Washington than I think they're letting on, or than I think a lot of people realize, because they lost it. And because they had such adversity that Washington went through last year with all of their injuries, with so many young players, rookies, second-year players playing such significant minutes and being such influential parts of the season, that this is a game for Washington that we could see a different side of this beast. We could see renewed energy. And I mean, frankly, this is the best way to start the year. The best way to start the year is between these two teams. So we have to do predictions now. We have to do predictions. Who is going to win? And I want to know score lines from you guys between Washington and Orlando. Jess, who do you have winning, and can you give us a scoreline prediction?
All right. Okay. I'll go with Orlando Pride 2-1.
Ooh. I'm also going to go Orlando Pride 3-2, though. I love a high-scoring game. I don't know. It's crazy. Last year,
Darian said, you get a goal, you get a goal, you get a goal.
Everybody wants to score. Everyone's trying new things. Let's have it.
Ooh, I'm going Washington. I'm going to go Washington Spirit. I think they want redemption, and there is just something about a revenge game. The Revenge Cup, as we're calling it. Shout out to the chat for naming it that. It's different. You feel different. You have a different fire underneath of you to win and be that much better than you were last year and correct everything that you wish you could have changed. You get a chance to do that. Players, teams rarely get a chance to go against the team that they played last that they lost to. I'm going to go 2-1 Washington Spirit win.
I'm sweating right now with these predictions. Y'all, I'm perspiring here.
On YouTube, our friends in the chat hanging with us, they also are giving their predictions, and 52% of you are voting that Washington Spirit is going to win. I've got the chat on my side. Let's go. Let's go. Tomorrow night, you get the Challenge Cup, 8 p.m. on Amazon Prime between Washington Spirit and Orlando Pride. And set your alarms because immediately following the final whistle, 10:15 Eastern, you can hear a recap of it. Darian will be there. We'll have Christine Cupo back, Sandra Herrera. I'll be there recapping everything from the Challenge Cup. So that's 10:15 p.m. Eastern right here on YouTube.